Happy watching!
Hey everyone, this is Chetna and you're watching ChetChat, one of the largest online career and higher education chat shows. And this is ChetChat's masterclass on how to improve your English. Okay, so we've got a whole lot of amazing techniques for you. So we've divided all of the content into 2 videos. You're watching video number 1, where you're going to get techniques relating to listening and reading. And please watch video number 2, which gives you all the techniques relating to speaking and writing and 10 amazing tips to improve your English. But before we begin, press that subscribe button and the bell icon right next to it and give us a thumbs up if you like our work. And the first set of techniques relates to listening. Technique number 1 of listening is called the imitation technique. Now, I want you to watch some English movies on Netflix or Amazon Prime with the subtitles on. You can watch some YouTube videos as well with their subtitles on, and I'd be happy for you to watch some ChetChat videos. Now, here's what you have to do. Listen, read, pause, and imitate. And here are a few things that I want you to observe specifically over and above the difficult words that are definitely going to catch your attention. The first thing I want you to notice is the words that people use to connect sentences. So for example, if they use a word like primarily, specifically, however, nevertheless, pay attention to these words, because by connecting your sentences together using the correct word, you would sound like a native speaker. The second thing I want you to pay attention to is emphasis. In English, emphasis often changes the entire meaning of the sentence. So let's take an example here. There's a sentence which is, I never said she stole the money. Now let's see how, by changing our emphasis from one word to the other, we can change the meaning of this sentence. So how about, I never said she stole the money, which means I didn't say it, someone else said. How about, I never said she stole the money, which means I didn't say it, but it was implied. How about, I never said she stole the money, which means it wasn't her. I never said she stole the money, which means she stole something else. So notice how, by placing our emphasis on different words, it changes the meaning of the sentence. The third thing I want you to notice is pronunciation. In English, sometimes the same word with the same spelling can have 2 completely different meanings. For example, I wound the bandage around the wound, or I object to this object, or the difference between dove and dove, and produce and produce. So paying attention to how they're pronouncing the word. Sometimes it's even pronounced the same way. For example, I was too close to the door to close it. So by paying attention to what they're saying, you'll know in what context that word was used. Fourth, I want you to pay attention to different usages of the same word. Take a word like treat. A doctor treats his patient, my puppy loves a treat, and a teenager says, don't treat me like a child. And while you're listening, also pay attention to some slang and conversational English and some phrases that are used which make you sound more like a native speaker. And don't worry, the more you listen to, and I'm making this easy by asking you to watch movies and YouTube videos, and the more you listen to, the easier it'll soon become for you. And let me come to technique number 2 of listening. I call it the cheat code. Remember, the answer lies in the question, and English is sometimes also like a mirror. So if somebody asks you, does she know English? Then the answer is yes, she does know English. Can she climb a mountain? Then the answer is yes, she can climb the mountain. Or if the question is it a Monday today? The answer is yes, It is a Monday today. If you're in a TOEFL or an IELTS listening section and listening to some of the words that they put into the question and using the same words into the answer will make it easier for you to smoothly flow into your answer. And technique number 3 is my favorite technique, which is called listening to podcasts. Download a free podcast app. Some of the ones that I know are Google Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify's, or Stitcher. And you can pick any free podcast app that you like, download it onto your phone, and I'm going to give you a list of podcasts that are very useful to you for learning English. The BBC World Service has 2 really good English channels called The English We Speak and 6 Minute English. The British Council has a Learn English podcast, and there are several others like Splendid Speaking and Better at English. There are also some American podcasts that you may like listening to. One very popular one is The American Way or The Scientific American or Freakonomics Radio. Interestingly, you can also then start to see subtle differences between American English and British English, but all that for later. So the next set of techniques is around reading. Now, if you're an early learner, read children's books, which are graded books, and those can make it interesting. They also have a lot of pictures in them, and slowly start progressing to more difficult books. But read often, read interesting material, and slowly try to read challenging material as well. Now, when you're reading, initially just read for the entire meaning holistically. Don't get caught up in those big words and every time run to the dictionary or the thesaurus to look at the meaning of that word. It just slows down the entire pace and makes learning seem like this difficult activity. So for example, when you hear something like this, you see the entire system of the country is juxtapositioned by the hemoglobin in the atmosphere because you're a sophisticated rhetorician intoxicated by the exuberance of your own verbosity. When you hear something like that, I'm sure you can say that in a much simpler manner using simple, elegant words and convey the same meaning. So don't be afraid when people use these huge words. Try to get the meaning in general and slowly you'll get the words as well. Okay, another tip for reading is to read out aloud and to pay special attention to sentence construction. Here's an exercise. I will give you a sentence like she told him that she loves him. Now, insert the word only anywhere in this sentence. What if I say, she told him that she only loves him? How about, she told him that she loves only him? Now, every time you put this word at different places in the sentence, notice how the meaning slowly starts to change. Another tip is to learn the root words. For example, scribe is equal to write. So, inscribe, prescribe, inscription, all of that will help you understand those words better. Min is equal to small, so all the words related to min will always be implying the word small. Try to learn groups of words together, like ingest, digest, egest, all relating to the digestive system will help you understand the meanings of them independently. Another tip for reading is to sometimes pick up entire phrases because those come in handy. For example, I just said those come in handy, or he went over the top. He's more likely to do da-da-da-da. Okay, so you get the drift. Try to pick up these short 3 or 4 word phrases that you can insert into your sentences. Now, I'll say a word and you guess the spelling. I'll. What did you guess? I-L-L, A-I-S-L-E, or I-S-L-E. Now, only reading will help you differentiate the words. And don't worry, just a few minutes every day, if you give yourself just half an hour every day to read, and that over a period of 5 to 6 months will add up greatly when you combine it with listening, speaking, and writing. Hey, and thanks for watching video number 1 of this 2-part series called How to Improve Your English. And don't forget to tune in to the second part of the series where we're going to cover tips relating to speaking and writing and also 10 amazing tips to help you improve your English. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon and give us a thumbs up if you like our work. And happy watching!